Yeah.
Thank you. You happy, Matt? You happy? All good. Thanks, guys. Push up.
Jake, you're back into the starting side. Must be pretty chuffed with that. There's obviously been a bit of rotation there with you and that, but to get the nod this week, must be pretty keen.
Yeah, I'm excited for the weekend. It's sort of been a little bit of rotation with the halfbacks. You know, I came back from Argentina, and you know, Nick's been pretty fresh. I thought his injection into the team last week was his usual self, really energetic, which was good to see. And I had a little bit of time off, and hopefully I can provide the same sort of energy.
What's that like from a player's point of view? I mean, you started the majority of the test this year, but again, there has been that rotation, that uncertainty. Is that tough mentally going into a test week, not knowing exactly where you play?
It's the nature of the competition a little bit at the moment. Like we have, when you think about it, sort of 2 weeks on, 1 week off. So it's been, I guess not as consistent as a normal sort of tournament. So not unsettling. We've been in here the whole time together, training hard. So I'm ready to go. I'm excited for it.
Isaac, you've been picked ahead of the most capped Wallaby in history. That's going to be pretty good for the old Liga.
It was pretty good. I've been just trying to prep myself leading into the game. It's a pretty big one. I think Slips was pretty happy to just get his 140th in and call it that. But he's been good throughout the week. I'm still quite new to the squad, so yeah, all those little bits of advice he's been giving me has been really good.
When you reflect on the tests that you have had this year, like say against the Springboks as well, what did you learn from those games that could potentially help you against the All Blacks on Saturday?
Probably just how quick and how fast, and physical this level of game is. I've got a couple games at Super Rugby level, and it's completely different here. It's a lot faster. Everyone's that little bit quicker. Everyone's that little bit stronger. And then around the set piece as well, everyone's world-class players, and they're quite dominant in that area. So it's something that I want to improve on, and something I've been trying to do throughout the week.
Jake, the Bledisloh's obviously gone. What's driving the team this week?
We want to put on a really good performance. We've sort of been guilty of getting close, and the next week sort of not having as good a performance. What's important for us is we know we need to build some consistency around our performance. We see this week as a really good opportunity to do that. We thought sort of the way we finished the last 30 minutes in Sydney, where we were allowed to play with quick ball, we sort of dominated the collision on top of that. We'd like to do that for a little bit longer, but yeah, we want to improve this week.
And looks like TJ's last home test for the All Blacks, the big occasion in his home town. What's he been like to compete against over the years?
He's a really good competitor. He's really abrasive character. If you run at him, he'll let you know about it. Really good on ball and can create quite a lot as well around the ruck. So I'm sure he's super excited. His family's very proud of his efforts, and I'm excited to test it against him.
He seems like the ultimate white line fever guy, yelling and screaming on the field, and then first to have a chat and a handshake afterwards.
Yeah, he's we spend quite a lot of time playing against these guys, and they're all good men. So you're right though. He's energetic on the field, and he's yapping, and he's India, but good bloke off the field.
And just the intricacies of playing at Wellington, that swirling wind, pretty unpredictable. Like that must be quite good fun as a halfback. Is it just to hoist cats up there and do your best fullback?
It is challenging. We played here during the year, and it's sort of, I've played a few games here, but it's really hard to get a feel of where the wind's sort of going at different points throughout the game. And we were training today out at one of the fields around here. Again, really unpredictable. It is a bit of a lottery sometimes. Hopefully we can get a few guys around the ball to see if we can pick up some of those scraps. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be ready to go.
I was going to say research might disagree, given that kick in 2020 that sort of swerved on its way.
Decent hit, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask, just pick up on another thing, saying, what motivations? Like, is it a motivation to be the first team in, I think it's 23 years, to win against New Zealand?
Oh yeah, it has to be motivating. We're not thrilled with where we're at. We are a new group with plenty of debutants this year, and You know, we found that we've made some improvements in our game, but definitely not where we want to be at the moment. But you've seen glimpses, I thought, throughout that Wales sort of game and Georgia and parts of that South Africa game and Argentina at points. We played some really good rugby, but we haven't been able to, be consistent every week. But there's definitely motivation. You know, it's a test match, playing against the All Blacks at a packed out stadium. We're excited.
Isaac, you happy to get to the Wellington and not go to Eden Park?
I guess I can't really control that. You just got to play where you play. But, it's wherever you play, you sort of just got to try and put your best foot forward. Anytime I get the chance to play for Australia, it's pretty big. So, yeah, I don't really focus too much on that.
Are you guys aware of their record in Wellington, though? I think they've obviously lost Eden Park in forever, but they haven't won in Wellington in the last five tests.
Oh, really? Yeah. Look,
Not too aware of that.
Yeah, we're expecting a good team ready to go, so not too focused on that.
Isaac, we just had Joe in here saying Mike Cron was really enjoying your work and your progress so far. What's he been like to work with? What's he spending the most time with you on your game?
He's, he knows a lot about the scrum, and that's probably my biggest area of improvement as a young prop. I've just been pretty much chewing his ear off, like every Tuesday and Thursday. Those are our big scrum days about what I can be doing to, affect the scrum. He's been pretty big in that area.
And how have you gone? Have you found scrummaging Super Rugby against Lomax and Kelsey? I've actually scrummed against both of them this year. It's a bit different. Something I've found sort of coming from Super Rugby to test levels. Guys you've played against there aren't necessarily how they scrum in Super Rugby as well. So it's different. Like even guys in training, it's always different. Like I've scrummed against Throber before, and he's still a bit different now. So yeah.
Online, guys. Christy, we can see you.
Yeah, g'day, Jake. Thanks, Marty. Hey, Jake, who's the bigger yapper, TJ or Nick White? And is there something that, like, does it make it harder playing against those guys or not?
It's a tough one to answer. They both love talking, but I think when you sort of look at both competitors, I think you see that from both of them. Even when you saw Whitey last week and then TJ off the bench, competing for every play in the game, really emptying the tank. I'm not sure, but I think there's so many things that go on a rugby field. You don't hear everything, and until you see the replay and see some of the involvements, you sort of miss a lot of that stuff a lot of the time, unless it's maybe directly said to you. So it's not front of mind.
It's a great way to sit on the fence there, Jake. What about, can you just talk us through your emotions, like when you were told last week that you weren't going to play? Because I know you're pretty proud, and I know that continuity is important. You look at the stats, it's about 17 in the last 25 tests. There's been a change at 9. So, we talk about the stability at 10. There's probably not been the same stability at 9 either. What are you hoping this week with you and Noah?
I'd love to play in every game. So that obviously there's a disappointment there. Joe was pretty clear around wanting to get Whitey in, that he's fresh and a big competitor. So he's very transparent there. I'm excited to play with Noah. I think the luxury that we have at halfback in this country is we've got 39s who can compete at this level. I think we are really strong there. I'm excited to play with Noah. He didn't play the second Argentina game, so the first one where we had a really good win. So I'm thinking he's improving week to week at the moment. I think he's had some really good involvements over the last few games, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that on the weekend.
And just under Joe, what have you noticed from a Bledisloe environment? What's different with Joe as opposed to some of the other coaches, or is there anything different about how he sees a Bledisloe contest or coming up against the others?
Look, he's obviously got some insight. He was only with them about 2 years ago. So yeah, there's obviously conversations that happen around possibly ways they could look at exploiting us. It's been really good for us, but I wouldn't say a massive difference. But yeah, someone who's obviously been involved in the environment, he knows things that some other coaches wouldn't.